For centuries, humanity has questioned the true nature of consciousness and the mysterious flow of time. Despite advances in neuroscience, the essence of self-awareness remains elusive. Traditional models describe the brain as a neural machine. But what if this perspective is incomplete? Light, a symbol of knowledge, a force of physics, and a metaphor for awakening, has always held a sacred place in both science and philosophy. From Plato's allegory of the cave to Einstein's theory of relativity, light has illuminated not only our world but our understanding of ourselves. This video explores a bold hypothesis, that consciousness is not just brain activity, it is a field of light. A dynamic electromagnetic phenomenon where awareness emerges not from matter alone, but from radiance, resonance, and the geometry of information. Long before modern neuroscience, the 12th century Iranian philosopher Sohrawardi proposed a strikingly similar vision, that light is the essence of existence, the origin of time, matter, and consciousness. Sohrawardi's philosophy of illumination challenges the Aristotelian worldview inherited by Avicenna. In contrast to the essentialist logic of the Peripatetics, Sohrawardi constructed a cosmology where all beings exist in relation to light, through degrees of luminosity and darkness. Light, to him, is not just physical, it is ontological. It defines reality, not the other way around. His vision bridges logic, mysticism, and metaphysics, placing inner illumination at the core of knowing. Rediscovered in the 20th century thanks to Henry Corbin, Sohrawardi's philosophy is now recognized as one of the most profound metaphysical systems to emerge from the Islamic world, and perhaps the first theory of consciousness as light. In Sohrawardi's system, light is both self-evident and self-sufficient. It requires no definition, because it defines all else. Every being, whether physical or immaterial, is characterized by the intensity of light it possesses. Entities closer to pure light are more real, more intelligible, and more aware. Darkness is not a substance but a deficiency of light, a lack of presence, a step away from being. This metaphysics gives rise to an epistemology of presence, where true knowledge comes not through logical abstraction, but through immediate self-awareness and inner vision. Consciousness is not the outcome of computation. It is an act of direct illumination, where one light encounters another. Thus, Sohrawardi anticipated a key idea of modern EM theories, that consciousness may be a luminous field, not processed, but present. A few centuries earlier, in the 10th and 11th centuries, Alhazen revolutionized the understanding of light and vision. Before him, it was commonly believed that light came out from the eyes to illuminate the world. But Alhazen proved the opposite: light enters the eyes, is processed by the brain, and thus gives rise to visual perception. In this insight, he didn't just lay the foundation for modern optics, he brought light into the body, into conscious perception. This connection between light, brain, and mind set the stage for future theories where perception and awareness are intrinsically linked to electromagnetic interactions. As centuries passed, our understanding of light evolved. With the rise of modern physics, light was revealed to be an electromagnetic wave, vibrating electric and magnetic fields traveling through space. This revelation transformed our view of light. No longer was it just illumination, it became a fundamental force, deeply embedded in the fabric of nature. This understanding paved the way for new theories linking electromagnetic fields and brain activity, and opened the door to EM-based models of consciousness. In the 20th century, Einstein changed everything. He showed that light does not simply travel through time, light defines time. Time dilates and space contracts at the speed of light, revealing a deep connection between illumination and the structure of reality. Add to this the discovery of photons, the quantum particles of light, and a new possibility emerges: that light is both energy and information. The continuous gradation of light may even explain our perception of the flow of time. Time, in this view, is not a thing in itself. It is a product of light's interaction with the mind. And perhaps, time is the rhythm of consciousness as it flickers in the field of light. Some researchers have gone even further. They propose that the brain emits biophotons. Some researchers have advanced the intriguing idea that the brain emits biophotons, ultra-weak, coherent light that may form a quantum network for information exchange. These biophotons are generated by the mitochondria in neurons, the powerhouses that not only fuel neurons with ADP but also release light in the process. Within the mitochondria, electrons move in a controlled, storm-like fashion, transferring energy across protein complexes. This cascade of energy doesn't just create ADP, it also primes the system for light emission at the quantum level. ADP synthase, spinning like molecular turbines, produces the energy currency of life. But this chemical reaction goes beyond just producing energy, it acts as a trigger for bursts of biophotonic activity. These biophotons don't simply disappear, they interact with the surrounding environment. Neurons are thought to detect and possibly transmit these quantum signals, generating an electromagnetic field that could influence brain functions such as perception, cognition, and perhaps even consciousness itself. As shown in the spectrum curves, theoretical absorption spectra of ADP versus bulk water and biomolecule T-Hertz absorption, biophotons are detectable, even though they are invisible to the naked eye. These subtle photons may carry the very signature of consciousness. This theory blurs the lines between classical neurobiology and quantum information science, suggesting that the mind may be a coherent electromagnetic field, shaped by, and shaping, the brain itself. In the presence of endogenous biophotons in the brain, the interaction between electrons and photons can be understood as a matter-field interaction. This creates a scientific framework for addressing the brain-mind problem, offering a mathematical approach to understanding how information shapes the very structure of reality. At its core, this theory describes how light and matter interact at the most fundamental level. This remarkable theory was developed and refined by brilliant physicists such as Richard Feynman, Julian Schwinger, and Sunidhiro Tominaga. They revolutionized our understanding of how charged particles like electrons exchange photons, the force carriers of electromagnetism, to create the physical world we observe. According to this model, electrons are localized disturbances in the quantum field, while photons mediate the interactions between them. If you look at the bottom right corner of the slide, you'll see a simulation depicting the fascinating process of electron-photon interaction in action. The video starts with an electron moving through the quantum field. As it interacts, a photon is generated, transferring energy and exciting the electron. This illustrates the flow of energy in the quantum world, all governed by the precise mathematical rules of quantum electrodynamics. This electron-photon dance is the foundation of light, electricity, and magnetism at their most basic levels. It's a mind-blowing concept that ties together the very fabric of our universe. Emerging models in neuroscience and quantum physics suggest that consciousness might not be separate from electromagnetic (EM) activity, rather, it could be the structured field that emerges from it. In this view, the brain is not just a biological organ, but an electromagnetic resonator. As billions of neurons fire in coordination, they generate dynamic EM fields. These fields don't just reflect mental states, they may actually constitute mental states themselves. Rather than seeing the brain as merely a container for the mind, this perspective suggests that the brain acts as a scaffold from which the light of awareness emerges. This leads us to the light field hypothesis. According to this model, consciousness is a structured field of light, a dynamic, holographic-like pattern of electromagnetic oscillations unfolding within the geometry of the brain. Just like a hologram encodes an image through light interference, the mind may encode subjective experience through patterns of radiant activity. This implies that awareness may not simply reside within the brain but could be the very field that the brain produces. If this hypothesis holds true, it could fundamentally alter our understanding of consciousness, free will, and the nature of self. It would unite the fields of physics, neuroscience, and philosophy under a single common framework, literally. In this view, the mind becomes an electromagnetic interference pattern of the brain's EM activities, from biophotons to action potentials, which serve as the endogenous electromagnetic sources of the brain. The quantum glow of the mind is not merely metaphorical, it may be a physical phenomenon waiting to be fully understood. This glow represents the EM resonance of thought, emotion, and presence, essentially, the shimmer of awareness within the brain's geometry. The light field hypothesis challenges us to look beyond neurons and computational models of the brain, inviting us to explore the luminous field where self and world meet. It encourages us not just to think, but to see in a new light. Thank you for watching. If this idea has sparked your curiosity, please give this video a like, subscribe for more deep dives into the mind and its mysteries, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue to illuminate the unknown, together.